My, oh my, oh my. Time has passed. How about that? Time has passed. It's kind of gotten away from me, it seems, because this is not something I've been doing. I've been focusing on other things, I guess. I've been overwhelmed with life as such as it happens. And the very funny thing is that I have come back and watched the old videos I posted years ago at the start of this. And it makes me laugh that internally I'm going through a lot of the same struggles. Like, I feel as though part of me is reliving this experience. And really funny is looking back on these videos of me going through this process has actually been really helpful in me going through it again now. It's funny because it seems like life is about cycles and we just swirl around a certain point, but we still rotate around this fixed center. And sure, you get farther away from it, but it makes you wonder, am I always going to be on this point here? Makes you wonder what it takes to shift to a different spot. But you know, whatever spot you get to, you're going to have cycles there too. I guess that's just life. Like the Fibonacci sequence is part of nature, it's part of life, it's part of who we are. I guess you really have to decide what cycles you're willing to circle around, because you learn lessons from each one. Quite honestly, a part of me is frustrated to find myself back in a similar position. I feel like, shouldn't I have learned by now all the ways that my people-pleasing, my self-doubt, my innate need to please everybody else before myself, all of these things are detrimental to my soul and my spirit? Shouldn't I know that taking time to be fully focused on myself first, so that I can have a cup which overfloweth to give from? Shouldn't I know that? Theoretically, yes. Because I've been through this. I have. But I think that the truth is, it sinks a little deeper each time. And it takes effort to get away from the conditioning in which we've been taught. Something about my life, my youth, my childhood taught me that in order to live a successful, happy life, in order to be a kind person, I have to take the pain and the hurt and the needs of others and put it above everything I'm going through. And to take those pains and needs and hurts and make them my own. And I think that's what I'm really honing in on this year. I'm coming up on the end of December 2025 and in January 2026 and starting a brand new year. And you know, all this stuff going around in the cosmos about the end of a 9-year cycle, 5 being the number of change and transformation. Well, I feel it. It's happening. Certainly, something's going on here. But this new start that I'm walking into, what I really, really hope for is a newer understanding and connection of self, is a newer sense of comfort in my internal world, the place where I belong, where I'm protected and safe, that I can always sit back into in any situation, even if a situation around me is overwhelming, if somebody I care about is going through a situation that's overwhelming, if somebody's asking too much of me, to be able to take the time to sit back down on my spot in myself and say, how do I truly feel about this? What do I plan to do about it? What feels right? And before I do anything, how do I get back to feeling good in myself, knowing at least here I am safe? Right now, I am safe. And that's something I've been working on, is coming back to that part of myself. I am safe. I am good here. Because what I recognize is, if people come to me with their problems in life, It's one thing for them expecting me to solve it and help it, another thing for me to just be a listening ear or somewhere in between. But if I take on the stress and hardship and pain and burden of another person's situation, then I am not anymore an outside source of perspective. I am not a calm, content, separate entity that can give an opinion based on that. I am now right where they're at, and I can only reflect back to them what it is they're going through and feeling. When I have my own separate stance in my own self, my solid rooted sense saying, this is your emotion, this is your experience, and it might be painful, it might be hard, it might be difficult, and I have empathy, but it is not mine. I am rooted in this feeling of security and safety. So when you come to me with your pain and your hurt and your hardship, I am not feeling it as my own. So I can give you perspective from a different source. And that's been really helpful. Especially in situations where life feels overwhelming.